As the legal battle surrounding Lil Durk intensifies, new footage has emerged reportedly showing the rapper and his alleged hitmen aboard a private jet. This video, now circulating online, has added a surprising twist to an already complicated case. Lil Durk, facing federal charges that could result in a life sentence, is accused of masterminding a murder-for-hire plot targeting rival rapper Quando Rondo. Lil Durk and his hitmen allegedly tried to escape. A key figure in the modern hip-hop scene, Lil Durk has been thrust into the spotlight for all the wrong reasons. Arrested on federal murder-for-hire charges, the artist allegedly masterminded a plot targeting rapper Quando Rondo as retaliation for the 2020 murder of his friend and collaborator, King Von. The murder-for-hire allegations stem from events that occurred 2 years after King Von's tragic death, which many believe Quando Rondo had ties to. According to an affidavit filed in federal court by FBI agent Sarah Corcoran, Lil Durk placed a bounty on Quando Rondo's life. The evidence includes unnamed witness testimony and records showing flight tickets purchased using credit cards linked to Lil Durk and his Only the Family, OTF collective. The affidavit paints a chilling picture of premeditated revenge, with the rapper allegedly mobilizing resources within OTF to plan and execute the scheme. Authorities assert that the 2022 plot was a direct response to the pain and loss Lil Durk endured after King Von's death, a tragedy that remains a significant chapter in his life and career. Before his arrest, Lil Durk reportedly tried to flee the United States. Federal prosecutors detailed his elaborate efforts to outmaneuver investigators, claiming he booked multiple flights to confuse authorities. 2 commercial one-way tickets to Dubai and Switzerland were purchased but never used. A third attempt involved a private jet bound for Italy, but FBI agents detained him at Miami's Opa-locka Executive Airport just an hour before the jet was scheduled to take off. Federal sources described the moves as calculated and aimed at evading federal jurisdiction. However, not everyone agrees with this narrative. Bradford Cohen, an attorney who has represented Kodak Black, questioned the validity of these claims. He suggested that the flights may have been booked as precautionary measures to check for warrants rather than a genuine attempt to flee. Cohen also argued that fleeing to Switzerland or Italy, both of which have robust extradition agreements with the U.S., would not be a logical choice for someone attempting to evade prosecution. The drama extended beyond Lil Durk himself. On October 24th, 5 men associated with OTF were arrested in Chicago in connection with the alleged murder-for-hire plot. The arrested individuals were identified as Kavin London Grant, 28, known as Cuz or Vonnie; DeAndre Dantrell Wilson, 33, known as D. Keith Jones; 33, known as Flacca; David Brian Lindsay; 33, known as Brown Asa Houston; 36, known as Boogie. The men face charges detailed in a 4-count federal grand jury indictment, with Jones also facing an additional charge for possession of a machine gun. Countries like Switzerland and Italy have strong extradition treaties with the United States, meaning Lil Durk could have been quickly returned to face charges. Additionally, fleeing would have nullified the statute of limitations for the crime, allowing authorities to pursue charges indefinitely. Perhaps most damaging, fleeing could have led to harsher sentencing, as judges often view such actions as an admission of guilt or lack of remorse, reducing chances of leniency during sentencing. In this case, Lil Durk's reported attempts to flee may already be seen as damaging evidence, regardless of their intent. Before his arrest, Lil Durk's music and public statements hinted at his awareness of looming legal troubles. Fans have pointed to the eerie foresight displayed in his 2022 track Federal Nightmares, which has surged in popularity following his indictment. The chorus of the track, with its haunting repetition, "Delete my iCloud if I think they really on me. When trial come, it ain't your phone, it be your homie. He on the stand with his head down like he don't know me. It ain't no point in no getting lawyer if your homie told," has been called a premonition of the rapper's current circumstances. One user commented, "Lil Durk really predicted his own future with this song." The lyrics have sparked debate about whether Durk's art mirrors his life too closely and whether his music inadvertently foreshadowed his downfall. Just weeks before his arrest, Lil Durk announced a significant milestone. His criminal record had been wiped clean. On September 22nd, the rapper took to X, formerly Twitter, to share his joy over the expungement of his record, describing it as a second chance at life. Everybody should get second chances at life. It's about what you do with it. Alhamdulillah, my background wiped and clean of all cases. I ain't a felon anymore, he wrote, adding a heartfelt thanks to those who supported him. Durk's journey through the criminal justice system has been long and fraught with challenges. His legal troubles date back to 2011 when he served 3 months for a weapons charge. In 2013, he was arrested again for unlawful use of a weapon by a felon, leading to an 18-month probation sentence. These experiences shaped his music and public persona as an artist striving to rise above his past. His announcement about clearing his record marked a turning point, reflecting his desire to leave his troubled history behind. However, the timing of his indictment for the alleged murder-for-hire scheme has cast a shadow over these efforts, making it appear as though his second chance was short-lived. Meanwhile, the case against Lil Durk is further complicated by allegations of witness intimidation. According to the affidavit, witnesses tied to the investigation, as well as their families, have faced threats. Federal prosecutors chose to keep the identities of these witnesses confidential, citing serious safety concerns. Such allegations suggest an effort to obstruct justice, which could lead to additional charges. Witness tampering is a federal crime with severe penalties, and the involvement of threats only amplifies the seriousness of these claims. As Lil Durk and his associates await trial, the legal road ahead is daunting. The evidence outlined in the affidavit, including financial records, flight bookings, and witness testimony, presents a strong case for federal prosecutors. Lil Durk faces a federal trial with grave implications. Accused of orchestrating a murder-for-hire plot, Banks stands at the center of a case involving allegations of interstate criminal conspiracy, firearm violations, and the tragic death of an innocent victim. Federal prosecutors, armed with extensive evidence, claim Banks used his position as leader of the rap collective Only the Family, OTF, to coordinate the violent retaliation that has now landed him in court. Banks, along with 5 alleged co-conspirators, Kavin London Grant, DeAndre Dantrell Wilson, Keith Jones, David Brian Lindsay, and Asa Houston, faces multiple charges, including conspiracy to use interstate facilities to commit murder for hire resulting in death, use of firearms in furtherance of a crime of violence resulting in death, and possession of a machine gun. The defendants are accused of carrying out a coordinated plan to murder Quando Rondo, referred to in court documents as a rival to Banks. This feud is rooted in the 2020 murder of Banks's close associate and OTF member King Von. The indictment and supporting FBI affidavit detail how the plot was carried out. Prosecutors claim Banks offered a bounty on Quando Rondo, promising monetary rewards and music opportunities through OTF to those willing to take part. The plan was initiated in August 2022 when OTF associates learned that Quando Rondo was staying at a hotel in Los Angeles. Grant, Wilson, Lindsay, Houston, Jones, and another unidentified individual referred to as co-conspirator 2 were all implicated in the scheme. Traveled from Chicago to California on flights purchased using an OTF credit card, Grant allegedly rented a hotel room in Los Angeles for the group, procured vehicles, and purchased ski masks to conceal their identities during the operation. Surveillance footage captured their movements as they followed Quando Rondo across Los Angeles using 2 vehicles, a white BMW and a white Infiniti with a fake license plate. On August 19, 2022, the conspirators tracked Quando Rondo to a gas station near the Beverly Center. 3 gunmen exited the Infiniti and opened fire on Quando Rondo's vehicle. Instead of hitting their intended target, they struck and killed El Pab, Quando Rondo's family member, who was standing nearby. 18 shell casings were recovered from the scene. Surveillance footage showed the gunman fleeing the area in the Infiniti. The BMW, believed to have been used to scout the area, departed shortly before the shooting. Later that day, the defendants regrouped at a hamburger restaurant in Los Angeles to discuss payment for the attack. Flights were then arranged for the group to return to Chicago, again using an OTF-linked credit card. Prosecutors alleged that Wilson facilitated payments to Jones and Lindsay for their roles in the shooting. Banks's involvement as the alleged mastermind of the plot forms the crux of the case. Court documents describe him as the leader of OTF, an organization that, while publicly positioned as a music collective, allegedly operates as a criminal enterprise. According to the FBI, OTF associates engage in violence, including murder, under Banks's direction to maintain status and control within the group. Evidence tying Banks to the plot includes financial records, showing that flights and hotel bookings for the conspirators were paid for using OTF funds. Text messages from Banks advising his associates not to use names linked to him when booking flights. Surveillance footage. Videos capturing the conspirators trailing Quando Rondo's vehicle across Los Angeles and fleeing the scene of the shooting. Witness statements, placing Banks in California at the time of the murder. In October 2024, federal agents executed search warrants in Chicago, apprehending Grant, Wilson, Lindsay, Jones, and Houston. Banks, however, was not among the initial arrests. Investigators later discovered that he had booked 3 international flights: a one-way ticket to Dubai, a one-way ticket to Switzerland, and a private jet to Italy. Banks was intercepted at Miami's Opa-locka Executive Airport just hours before his private jet was scheduled to depart. Prosecutors argue this was a calculated attempt to flee jurisdiction, while his defense team maintains that the bookings were precautionary measures to check for active warrants. The government's case is built on a substantial body of evidence, including financial transactions, the use of OTF credit cards to pay for flights, hotels, and other logistics, tying the defendants to the plot. Surveillance footage. Videos capturing the conspirators trailing Quando Rondo's vehicle across Los Angeles and fleeing the scene of the shooting. Communications. Text messages between Banks and his associates provide evidence of coordination, with Banks reportedly advising on how to avoid detection. Witness testimonies. Although identities are withheld for safety reasons, multiple witnesses have corroborated details of the conspiracy. If convicted, Banks and his co-defendants face life imprisonment. For Banks, the case is not just a legal battle, but a personal and professional reckoning. Known for his resilience and ability to channel personal struggles into his music, he recently celebrated having his criminal record expunged, a milestone he called a second chance at life. However, the weight of these charges threatens to overshadow that narrative. The trial will also test the durability of Banks's public persona. His lyrics often reflect the realities of his upbringing, blurring the lines between art and lived experience. Tracks like Federal Nightmares, with lyrics that eerily mirror his current legal troubles, have sparked debate about whether he foresaw his predicament or inadvertently admitted to his actions. This trial raises broader questions about the intersection of fame, loyalty, and criminality in the hip-hop industry. While OTF has been celebrated as a vehicle for artistic expression, the allegations suggest a darker side to its operations. The case also highlights the challenges faced by artists like Banks, who navigate the pressures of their past while building a public career. For fans and critics alike, the trial is a pivotal moment. It will determine whether Banks can maintain his position as a leading figure in rap, or if his legacy will be defined by the allegations against him. Meanwhile, the plot thickens. Whispers emerge of a potential betrayal within Lil Durk's inner circle. Speculation is rife that a member of OTF, possibly someone long trusted, has turned informant and provided critical evidence to federal authorities. Fans believe this alleged act of disloyalty may have been the catalyst for the intensified surveillance on Durk, ultimately leading to his arrest during his attempted flight. Ironically, the loyalty Durk once championed might be the very thing that has unraveled his defense.
When you said that to Durk, what was his response to you?
He said, you know what? He said, somebody just came in my house. How do they know exactly what the address is? I don't give my address to nobody.
50 Cent compared Durk's situation to his own past challenges with entourages, humorously adding, "Where were you at on Thursday at 3 ada? If you got pulled over and you're not in jail, why are you not in jail?" His comments reflect the inherent risks of trusting the wrong people in such high-stakes environments. The indictment documents do not explicitly name the informant, but widespread speculation points to OTF Jam. Jam, a longtime OTF member, was released from prison in 2022 after serving 12 years for attempted murder. Reports suggest that shortly after his release, Jam began wearing a wire and cooperating with federal authorities, gathering evidence about Lil Durk's alleged criminal activities. The information Jam provided reportedly includes planning and financial arrangements. Jam revealed how OTF credit cards were used to book flights and arrange logistics for co-conspirators traveling from Chicago to California. Tracking movements. Jam provided details about how OTF associates tracked Quando Rondo's movements in Los Angeles. Overt acts. Jam's cooperation reportedly outlined key actions, such as the purchase of ski masks, rental of vehicles, and acquisition of firearms, including a fully automatic weapon. This information proved instrumental in building a strong case against Lil Durk and his alleged co-conspirators. The alleged betrayal by Jam has sent shockwaves through the hip-hop community. Discussions on social media and interviews with notable figures have highlighted the complexities of loyalty and survival in such an environment. Chicago rapper King Yella claimed he heard Jam implicate Lil Durk in the murder of Quando Rondo's cousin, Lil Pab, as part of the broader retaliation for King Von's death.
I heard somebody named OTF Jam. They said they've been calling him a rat. And basically he said, okay, I'm a rat. Well, watch this. Watch this. That all this information that I know. Rat this, I'm going to tell this, I'm going to tell that.
On October 28th, a video posted on X featured a conversation between Trench's News and DJ Academics, where Trench alleged that Jam's cooperation began after Lil Durk ignored calls for legal assistance from Jam's family. Trench explained the fragile dynamics of loyalty in these circumstances. If you participate in a crime, you got to feed the killers, man. You got to feed them all. This commentary sheds light on how financial or emotional grievances can lead to fractures within such organizations. Amid these revelations, a 2023 interview with OTF Jam has resurfaced, offering a glimpse into his relationship with Lil Durk before the fallout. Speaking with DJ Jerry, Jam reminisced about the early days of their friendship. "That was brought back before the fame and the money," he said, describing how Durk's music motivated him during his 12-year prison sentence. However, this nostalgic portrayal contrasts sharply with recent allegations. While Jam did not address his cooperation with authorities in the interview, his reflections highlight the complex personal dynamics that often intertwine with criminal accusations. OTF, formed by Lil Durk in 2010, rose to prominence as a key player in Chicago's drill music scene. Originally affiliated with French Montana's Coke Boys label, OTF later became independent and built a reputation for its gritty, street-inspired music. However, prosecutors now describe OTF as a hybrid organization that blurred the lines between music and alleged criminal activity. They claim the group operated as both a rap collective and a gang, engaging in violence and other illegal acts to maintain its influence. Lil Durk's case is not just about his potential legal fate. It's a story about loyalty, betrayal, and the precarious balance of power within organizations like OTF. The allegations against Jam reveal how internal dynamics can unravel even the most seemingly solid alliances. As the trial unfolds, it will undoubtedly become a defining moment for both Lil Durk and the hip-hop community. What the future holds for Lil Durk and his Hitmen. Lil Durk's legal challenges have escalated significantly with the latest superseding indictment filed by federal prosecutors. The charges now include conspiracy, use of interstate facilities to commit murder for hire resulting in death, and using, carrying, and discharging firearms, including a machine gun in furtherance of a violent crime. If convicted, he faces a potential life sentence. The new indictment positions Durk as the lead defendant, adding him to a case that already implicates 5 co-defendants: Cav London Grant, DeAndre Dantrell Wilson, Keith Jones, David Brian Lindsay, and Asa Houston. The gravity of these charges underscores the stakes as Durk's fate hangs in the balance. As the trial date set for January 7, 2025 approaches, rumors on social media platforms like TikTok have added another layer of sensationalism to the case. Some posts speculated that Lil Durk could face the electric chair, prompting widespread concern among his fans. However, these claims were quickly debunked, as California, where the charges are filed, does not permit capital punishment due to a 2006 federal ruling and a 2019 moratorium issued by Governor Gavin Newsom. The speculation underscores the heightened public interest in the case, but the reality remains stark. Even without the death penalty, a life sentence looms as a possibility if Durk is convicted in court. Lil Durk has pleaded not guilty to all charges, and his legal team, led by prominent attorney Drew Finling, is preparing for an aggressive defense. Finling, known for representing high-profile clients such as Cardi B, NBA YoungBoy, and even former President Donald Trump, brings significant experience to the table. However, the prosecution has raised concerns about the possibility of Durk fleeing before trial. Court filings revealed that he had booked 3 separate one-way international flights to Dubai, Switzerland, and Italy on the day of his arrest, suggesting a calculated attempt to evade justice. These allegations have prompted prosecutors to request that Durk remain in federal custody until his trial. A detention hearing is scheduled for December 2nd, offering another opportunity for his defense team to argue for his release before the trial begins. The legal trouble has had immediate consequences for Durk's reputation and public image. The village of Broadview rescinded the honorary key to the village that was awarded to him just days before his arrest. The village also terminated its partnership with Durk's Neighborhood Heroes Foundation, a nonprofit focused on supporting youth programs and community development. Broadview Mayor Katrina Thompson justified the decision, stating, "Our public partners must reflect the uncompromising standards demanded by our residents." Meanwhile, Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson has faced questions about the $150,000 donation made to his political committee by Durk's company, The Voice Touring, in 2023. While some have called for the funds to be returned, Johnson defended the contribution, emphasizing the presumption of innocence and Durk's efforts to support social causes.
You're asking me if I should make a judgment on a black man before a full trial has actually come to fruition. I hope you do understand why it is not my position to determine the outcome of someone's.
Durk's upcoming album Deep Thoughts was set to release on November 22nd, but his arrest has overshadowed its rollout. The album, which fans had eagerly anticipated, is now delayed, creating uncertainty about its future. This development is particularly disappointing for fans who had seen Durk's music as a reflection of his journey toward redemption. His hit song, All My Life, which includes lyrics about sitting with politicians and striving to change his image, marked a turning point in his career. The current charges, however, risk undoing much of that progress. Durk's philanthropic work, particularly through the Neighborhood Heroes Foundation, has been a cornerstone of his public image. He has hosted financial literacy events, supported youth programs, and collaborated with local leaders to create opportunities in underserved communities. The foundation's partnerships and projects, including events attended by Chicago officials such as former Mayor Lori Lightfoot and Cook County State's Attorney Kim Foxx, showcased a new, socially conscious side of the rapper. However, the arrest and subsequent fallout threaten to overshadow these accomplishments. The decision by Broadview officials to sever ties with the foundation reflects the growing skepticism surrounding Durk's commitments amid the allegations. Lil Durk's future now hinges on the outcome of his January trial. If convicted, he could spend the rest of his life in prison, bringing an abrupt end to a career that has influenced Chicago's drill music scene and the global hip-hop industry. Even if acquitted, rebuilding his reputation will be a monumental challenge. The canceled partnerships, delayed album, and public scrutiny have already caused significant damage, and regaining trust from fans and collaborators will require more than just time. For now, the rapper remains in federal custody, awaiting his day in court. His story, one of talent, resilience, and controversy, has reached a critical juncture, leaving fans and the hip-hop community to wonder what lies ahead for Lil Durk and his embattled legacy. For more content like this, click on the videos showing on your screen now.